In this video, you will understand why so many people work every day, receive a salary every month, but remain stuck in the same place financially. It is not only because they earn little. Often, the real problem lies in the way they think about money, the way they spend it, and the lack of a strategy to make money grow. I also lived this way. I woke up early, worked tired, waited for my salary to come in, and when it finally hit my account, it seemed like the money already had an owner. Part went to rent, another to the credit card, another to bills, another to small purchases I didn't even notice. In the end, almost nothing was left. I used to say, my problem is my salary. If I earned more, everything would change. But when I found the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, I realized something that changed my perspective. The problem was not only how much I earned, it was what I did with the money after it arrived. And the first step is this: stop depending only on your salary, because a salary is important, but it cannot be your only source of security. When you depend only on it, your financial life becomes fragile. If the payment is delayed, you feel the pressure. If you lose your job, everything falls apart. If an emergency comes up, you run to the credit card, to a loan, or to a new debt. Trading time for money has a limit. The day only has 24 hours. You can work more, do overtime, take on more work, but there comes a point when the body tires and time runs out. That is when I understood. If I only earn money when I am working, then I am still trapped. The change begins when you use your salary as a tool to create other sources of income. It can be extra income, a small business, investments, dividends, rentals, or something simple that starts putting money in your pocket beyond your monthly paycheck. In the beginning, it does not need to be big. It can be selling a service, learning a skill, doing repairs for neighbors, editing videos, selling something online, or setting aside a small part of your salary to invest. The important thing is to stop thinking that the salary is the end of the road. The salary should be the beginning. Use part of it to learn, use part to invest, use part to build something of your own. Because whoever depends on a single income lives in fear. But whoever begins to create new income streams starts to build freedom. So the first step is simple. Do not abandon your job, but stop depending solely on it. Keep receiving your salary, but start using that money to open new doors. Because your salary can pay your bills, but only strategy can build your freedom. The second step is to understand that there are two main paths to begin creating wealth: entrepreneurship and investments. After I understood that I could not depend only on my salary, the question was, so where do I begin? And the answer did not come like magic. I did not have much money saved. I did not have a big company. I did not have real estate. I did not have large investments, but I had free time, some skills, and the will to learn. That is when I started small. I knew how to fix some things on computers, so I started offering that service to neighbors, friends, and people nearby. Sometimes it was formatting a computer. Sometimes it was installing a program. Sometimes it was solving a simple problem that seemed easy to me, but was a major headache for someone else. And there I understood something important. Extra income begins when you solve a problem for someone. You do not need to start with a huge business. You can start with a simple skill. You can sell a service. You can help someone with something you already know how to do. You can offer a small but useful solution. At the same time, I started learning about investments. Even with little money, I set aside a part to study and apply. It was not much, but it was the beginning. That was the moment when a powerful rule came in. Pay yourself first. Before spending everything, I set aside a small part of what I earned. That money was not for buying unnecessary things. It was to build my future. Part went to savings, another part went to learning, another part, little by little, went to investments. At first it seemed like little, but what mattered most was not the amount, it was the habit. Because whoever cannot set aside a little when they earn a little will probably also struggle when they earn more. So I started on two fronts, earning more through small services and taking better care of the money that was already coming in. That combination changes everything. Entrepreneurship increases your income. Investing makes money work for you. And paying yourself first ensures you do not hand over all your effort to bills, purchases, and debts. The second step is this: start small, use a skill to generate extra income, and set aside part of the money to invest in your future. Because wealth does not begin with a lot of money. It begins with decision, discipline, and action. The third step is to change your mindset. Stop thinking only as a consumer and start thinking as a wealth builder. It was at this point that I realized something difficult to accept. The difference between a poor person and a rich person is not only in the money each one has. Often, the difference begins in the way they think. The poor mindset thinks like this: I worked hard, so I deserve to spend now. The rich mindset thinks like this: I worked hard, so I need to use this money to build something greater. And that changes everything. For a long time, when I received some extra money, my first impulse was to reward myself. Buy something new, go out and spend, swap something, make an impulse purchase. In the moment, it felt good. But a few days later, the money was gone and my life remained the same. That is when I understood immediate reward may feel like pleasure, but it often delays freedom. The person with a poor mindset buys liabilities, things that take money out of their pocket every month. Installments, interest, subscriptions, unnecessary purchases, objects that seem like achievements but become burdens. The person with a rich mindset seeks assets, things that can put money in their pocket in the future. An investment, a skill, a small business, a digital product, extra income, a savings fund, something that strengthens their financial life. It does not mean living without enjoying anything. It means having priorities. Before buying, I started asking myself, will this make me freer or more trapped? If the answer was more trapped, I thought twice, because an impulse purchase may seem small, but many small purchases can destroy an entire salary, and money that slips away without control cannot work for you. The real change began when I stopped trying to appear financially well and started building a real foundation, because appearing rich is easy. Just use installments. Building wealth requires discipline. The third step is this: change your mindset. Stop using money only to feel quick pleasure and start using money to create freedom in the long term. Whoever buys too many liabilities stays trapped. Whoever buys assets, little by little, begins to become free. The fourth step is to invest in financial education every day. After I understood that I needed to change my mindset, I realized something else. I knew almost nothing about money. School taught me many important things, but it did not teach me how to manage a salary. It did not teach me how to avoid debt. It did not teach me how to invest. It did not teach me how to build wealth. And because of that, for a long time, I earned money and lost money without even understanding why. That is when I made a simple decision: read at least 10 pages per day about money, investments, business, and emotional intelligence. At first it seemed like little, but over time my vision began to change. I started to understand what assets, liabilities, interest, budgeting, savings, extra income, and investment meant. I began to notice that many decisions I thought were normal were keeping me poor. Each page was like turning on a light in a dark room. Before, I spent without thinking. Afterward, I started asking questions. Before, I saw the credit card as help. Afterward, I understood it could become a trap. Before, I thought investing was only for the rich. Afterward, I understood that investing was precisely the path to begin getting out of financial difficulty. And here is an important truth: Whoever does not learn about money ends up working for those who did. That is why financial education is not a luxury, it is a necessity. You can start with a simple book, one video a day, a basic course, a free lesson, a notebook to write down your expenses. The important thing is to feed your mind with something that improves your decisions, because one wrong financial decision can keep you trapped for years. But one right decision, repeated every month, can change your life. The fourth step is this: learn every day, even if just a little, because the more you understand money, the less money controls you. And before continuing, let me tell you something important. If you want to grow in financial knowledge and take your first steps with more clarity, I have prepared an ebook that can help you on this journey. In it, you will find simple and practical ideas to start organizing your money better, understand how to use your salary more wisely, and take the first steps toward building a stronger financial life. The ebook will be in the pinned comment. So if you feel you need to learn more, get out of autopilot, and start taking better care of your future, grab yours in the comments. Because knowledge is one of the first seeds of wealth, and the sooner you start learning, the faster you will be able to start changing your decisions. The fifth step was facing a hard truth. I was not broke only because I earned little. I was also spending too much without realizing it. This part was tough because it is much easier to blame the salary. I used to say, the problem is that I earn too little. But when I started writing down my expenses, I saw that money was slipping through small cracks every day. A snack here, a small purchase there, a subscription I barely used, a forgotten installment, an app charging every month, a trip to the market without planning, an impulse buy just because it seemed cheap. Alone, each expense seemed small, but together they were destroying my salary. When I put everything on paper, I realized that almost 40% of my money was disappearing on silent expenses. They were not big purchases, they were small leaks, and money leaking every month prevents anyone from growing. That is when I started cutting what made no sense. I cancelled subscriptions I did not use. I stopped buying on impulse. I started planning my purchases better. I began asking before spending, do I really need this, or am I just trying to satisfy a momentary desire? That question changed a lot, because every bit of money saved stopped being just a leftover. It became a seed. Part went to savings, another part to learning, another part to assets. And it was at that moment that I understood, saving is not living poorly. Saving is stopping the waste of money that could build your freedom. The fifth step is this: write down your expenses, find out where your money is leaking, and cut what is not moving you forward. Because before earning more, you need to stop losing money without noticing. The sixth step was understanding that saving alone is not enough. I also needed to increase my active income, because cutting expenses helps a lot. But there is a limit. You can cancel subscriptions, reduce impulse purchases, save at the grocery store, and organize your budget better. But there comes a point when, to truly grow, you need to increase the money coming in. That is when I stopped asking only, how can I spend less? And started asking, how can I become more valuable? That question changed my direction. I started learning skills that could open doors for me. I studied advanced Excel, communication, digital marketing, organization, time management, and ways to sell services online. I did not learn everything at once. I started little by little, one piece of content per day, one practice per week, one improvement per month. And the more I learned, the more opportunities began to appear. At work, I started delivering more results. In my free time, I began offering small online services. Simple things, but things other people needed. Organizing spreadsheets, basic editing, help with digital tasks, creating materials, support for those who could not do it on their own. And I understood something important. The market pays more to those who solve bigger problems. If you want to earn more, you need to become someone who delivers more value. It can be by learning a technical skill, improving your communication, selling better, serving better, producing better, or solving problems you did not know how to solve before. The mistake many people make is wanting to earn more by doing exactly the same thing, the same way, without learning anything new. But income grows when the person grows first. So I started treating my knowledge as an investment. Each new skill was a tool. Each new tool could generate money, and each extra bit of money that came in was not for spending carelessly. It was to strengthen my savings, my studies, and my assets. The sixth step is this: increase your active income by becoming more valuable. Learn a skill, offer a service, improve at your job, and create honest ways to earn more. Because when you control expenses and increase income, your financial life begins to change much faster. The seventh step was starting to invest strategically. After I better controlled my expenses and started increasing my income, I understood something. Money sitting idle does not build freedom. If all the money that comes in stays put without direction, it loses strength over time. But before investing, I did something important. I built my emergency fund. Because there is no point putting everything into investments if any unexpected event makes you withdraw money before the right time. So first I built a safety net, an amount set aside for real emergencies, job loss, health issues, urgent repairs, or some unforeseen situation. After that, I started studying assets. I learned about dividend-paying stocks, real estate funds, bonds, properties, and other ways to make money work for me. At first, I did not understand everything, so I went slowly. I studied, took notes, compared, and invested little but consistently. And that is when I understood a simple phrase: every real invested is like a small seed. A seed alone seems small, but when you plant every month with patience, the field begins to grow. The secret was not trying to get rich from a single investment. The secret was repeating the process. Earn, control, save, invest, and reinvest. While before I spent money without thinking, now I gave it a mission. Part protected my life. Another part bought assets. Another part helped build my future. The seventh step is this: after building your emergency fund, start investing with study and strategy. Do not invest on impulse. Do not copy anyone without understanding. Learn, start small, and be consistent. Because wealth is not born only from working hard. It is born when you put money to work alongside you. And that is how I understood the main message. Wealth is not born from a single attitude. It is born from the combination of mindset, financial education, expense control, income growth, and consistent investment. It is not enough to just work hard if money keeps slipping away every month. It is not enough to earn more if you also increase your spending. It is not enough to save if you never invest, and it is not enough to invest without first learning the basics. Everything needs to move together. First, you change the way you think. Then, you learn about money. Next, you control your expenses, increase your income, and start planting money in assets. Every real saved, every real invested, and every skill learned is like a seed placed in the ground. In the beginning, it seems small, but with discipline, time, and consistency, those seeds begin to grow. So if you live saying that there is never any money left at the end of the month, perhaps today is the moment to stop, look at your financial life, and make a different decision. Do not wait for the perfect salary. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Start with what you have now. Organize your expenses, learn every day, create extra income, and put your money to work for you. The promise of changing your life in a few months only makes sense for those willing to act with discipline. It is not magic, it is strategy. It is consistency. It is a daily decision. And if this video opened your eyes, leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to receive the next content. Also, share this video with that person who always says, "I work so hard, but there is never any money left." And comment below, "I will start today." Because your financial life begins to change when you stop only complaining about your salary and start using every reel as a seed to build your future.